Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host and fellow stand-up comedian, Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I think I pulled my back in my sleep.
Let me put my...
I woke up and it hurt so bad, and I was fine when I went to bed.
Yeah. I've had similar experiences where I wake up with a tight shoulder. I'm like, did I just pitch 6 innings in my sleep? Like, how the hell did I pull that off?
Yeah. My girlfriend asked me what was wrong, and I wouldn't tell her.
Why'd you just look? You just look like you were in a bad mood, and
no one should mate with anyone that they know is this weak. It doesn't bode well for offspring.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're pulling your back out when your skin's still tight.
What's the dumbest injury you've ever gotten? Like, just like of that level of like doing nothing, hurt yourself.
Okay. So in PE in school, this is the other thing. This is why I actually believe in certain martial arts that look silly. I actually think that with the right practice, they could work. So you see stuff that's like, you see these like Wing Chun videos or, Aikido stuff or, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, that would never work in a real fight. And it's like, yeah, sure. Especially jazzercise. Especially getting physical in skin tights.
Yeah. Solid gold dancing. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Well, because you see stuff like that, and you're like, this would never work. But you don't know that it wouldn't work, because under the right circumstances, anything could work,
Right.
And I feel that because one time we were playing volleyball in PE, and I went to just do like, one of those underhanded like hooks of the ball, like pop it back up in the air and everything. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I connected with the ball, so this isn't even me trying to punch the ball back up. As soon as I connected with the ball, I like basically pulled the hamstring on my other leg.
Oh, jeez.
And so it was like, imagine the ball coming to meet my hand. The ball doesn't even go back up in the air. It just hits my hand and droops off my hand and hits the ground, and then I hit the ground screaming. It was like out of a cartoon, because I was just like, ah! And then as soon as I went to hit it, it like some weird. If it was like a kung fu cartoon, you would have seen my skeleton or something. It looked like the worst version of Mortal Kombat. It's crazy because you don't think you could hurt yourself in such a awkward way.
Right. Yeah. No, I think we've mentioned it before, but I've had multiple times where I've genuinely hurt my back by just having that moment where you step on ice and go, whoo, like just doing that. I've done it multiple times where I've been like, then my back is fucked up for like a whole day.
Yeah.
You reminded me though of volleyball injuries. I weirdly have a couple of injuries associated. Well, one's not really an injury, but with volleyballs involved. In middle school, I remember there was a recess where we were just like, and it was like in the gym, because I think it was like during the winter, and it was just like, like this point in middle school, for some reason we would still get like short recesses, but they don't really do it anymore, but we used to still. I remember we were in the gym and we were just playing dodgeball. We just split the gym down the middle, a lot of us, and we're just playing dodgeball, but we were like using volleyballs and just really winging them at each other. And I remember this one kid threw, I think I remember who it was, but he was like a pitcher and like a quarterback and stuff. Had a good arm on him. He launches it at me, square in the balls, just drops me to my knees. And the second my knees hit the ground, another one hits me right in the face and then knocks me backwards. So it was just like wham, wham. And then this is the only time I've ever had this, like with a nut shot. Then like my balls hurt for an entire class period after that. And I went to my next class and I just sat down, and like everyone kept walking by like, hey, you doing okay, buddy? And I just like sat down and like put my head on the desk. I was like, oh God. And then the teacher comes up and he's like, Logan, you okay? What's the matter? And I'm like, yeah, man, I just took one in the jewels. Like was my exact wording.
Oh my gosh.
And then he was like, well, okay, sorry. Science is starting now. Sorry about your balls. I don't think I can say it as a teacher. I'll get fired.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to learn this at like this class, but you'll come back ready tomorrow.
Yeah, just know some good stuff's happening on the board. You'll get it later. Don't worry.
Yeah. It is funny because it's like when you in PE, our PE teacher was like a true sadist, and he had us play dodgeball, but one dodgeball game would last the entire period.
Oh, really?
So what he would do if you were out and you wanted to stay in, which of course everyone did at the beginning, you had to do this very weird, complicated run, like up and down the bleachers. Like you didn't just do a lap around the bleachers and come back. You had to go up the bleachers, down again. Then you had to go across the bleachers and then up. Then you had to come down again and then do like a circle. It was like it would take you some time.
Run over to the bench, solve the Rubik's Cube, run back, tag your partner.
Yeah, it was like the Amazing Race without any puzzles. It was just because then even when
the Amazing
I was
Race
out,
without any adventure.
Yeah, I was out, and then I was like, "What do I need to do again?" And he got exasperated with me, like I'm
like you made it up.
Yeah, like I made it up. I'm like, wouldn't it just say 4 times? Like, why are you making it this like it almost felt like he made us run that very specific course to get us dizzy so that we were worse when we came back in. Because kids were getting out and they'd run the course, and now you're coming back into the game winded.
Yeah.
And so you're winded, dizzy, and you got hit by a dodgeball, so you're not feeling great.
What happened to just like jailbreak? Like just way off to the side, wait for jailbreak. What's this new step?
Dude was a maniac. Dude was legit, like he was insane.
For your PE, did you like, because since you're saying your PE teacher was a maniac, was it like all just fitness stuff all the time basically? Did you have that kind of PE? Because I found there's a lot of different tiers that people had in their PE class growing up. Like some were like, you hear about some people, it's like it was constantly like doing the running and rope climbing and like all that stuff. And then mine was like, we literally went ice fishing and did archery and did orienteering and we did rappelling and scuba diving.
Jeez.
We did so much shit. Horseshoes, tennis, shuffleboard, like we did billiards one year. He would just get, actually a couple years in a row, he would just get a bunch of pool tables from I don't know where.
Yeah.
And we would just take over the wrestling room, and like a couple weeks would be us just getting good at pool.
That's insane.
I know.
That's amazing.
I know ours is super weird, but
that seems like PE at a boarding school.
Kind of, but it's like I think it was just a small school in Iowa, and like most kids are in sports, so it's like, you know, didn't have to push a lot of us that hard, and the ones who really don't want to run are the ones who are gonna have an excuse to get out of it every other day anyway.
I mean, we had a general. We had
bowling.
At least what I feel is general.
Yeah,
bowling.
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 For some reason, trying to correct it, I almost said boiling.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say boiling. And
What
sport is that?
Yeah, no, we spent a couple weeks just boiling, crawfish. We just really got into, just gumbos,
push-ups.
Yeah,
made us do push-ups in the water until it got hot.
Now while your gumbo's cooking, you gotta do wind sprints.
Yeah, it was insane. Like basically, there was one where I it wasn't me, it was another kid. But am I crazy? Or does every ice? Okay, well, good to know. Now, am I crazy? But is this also a weird fact? Does every school seem to have a Scuba Steve?
You're gonna need to elaborate on that. What do you mean?
I guess I'm just wrong. So
you feel mean like the toy from the movie Big Daddy?
No, not the toy. I feel like I've been in several situations. Maybe it's just a Southern thing or something. I've been in several situations where someone named Steve had the nickname Scuba Steve.
Well, I think that came from the movie Big Daddy.
That's what okay. So I'm wondering how big that was, or if I just know like four guys whose nickname is Scuba Steve, and they're just not that interesting or something.
I mean, I remember it being kind of a big deal when that movie was out. You know, this is another great one that our younger listeners are really gonna, attach to. They're really gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't try to take us here. I'm just telling you
I know, I'm kidding.
the
Jeez.
person. I just feel like I feel crazy because
It is weird that you knew like four guys named Scuba Steve, but I'm pretty sure they probably all have it just because of that movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is what I'm guessing, unless a couple of them were like scuba divers.
Yeah, I mean, at least one of them probably.
Are any of them a marine biologist now?
Oh, none of them.
Or a lifeguard?
Not at all.
Well, then I think they just watched that one Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
is what it's sounding like. That's what I'm guessing.
You really put it in perspective for me because I spent my entire childhood being like, why is he named Scuba Steve and he's named Scuba? And then there's an adult named Scuba Steve.
I mean, it still, though, supports your thesis of wondering, are there a bunch of Scuba Steves? And your question going to, is that like an uncreative nickname? Yes. So it's just a different route, but we still got to kind of what your thesis was going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
just like,
took everyone on this long and terrible road to to get us to this place of one time when we were playing dodgeball, and we were very early in the process, so only 15 minutes had passed, so only a few kids were out. They were running the laps, the weird obstacle course, and running back in. And at one point, this is a particularly epic game. At one point, maybe we're 45 minutes in now, so there's only like 5 minutes left in PE, and it's like a tight neck race to the point where he calls it, where he's like, all right, from now on, if you're out, because he knew it had to end sometime. And Scuba Steve got hit. He got hit real good in. I know there's a scientific term for it, but I'll just say stomach. Somebody got him in the stomach real good, and then
what other way?
Like, I don't know if it was the solar plex or like whatever hit him. I mean, yeah, abdomen. Whatever hit him knocked the wind out of him.
Right.
But this is the other problem. With diaphragm, maybe. Like, this is the other problem is whatever.
Intestines,
you throw a ball,
gut. I just wanted to see how long.
I mean, that's too deep.
I just wanted to see how long I could interrupt you with.
I mean, he would have been bleeding.
Yeah.
You hurt his intestines.
Took a dodgeball right in the intestines.
Had to have it removed by a doctor. So basically, so the ball that hit him got him out, right? Mm-hmm. But even if you have the best of intentions and you're not trying to be a jerk, because there were kids like that who would try to like hit you when you weren't aware, even though you were out and you were walking off because they were just dicks. Sure. But in this was a genuine mistake. About 3 different kids threw a ball at Scuba Steve
as he was walking out.
No.
Okay.
In earnest, trying to get him out.
Okay.
One hit him in the stomach.
Right.
Which made him duck from the next one that was about to hit his face.
Right.
But as he came up, the last one, like the furthest one away, he just looked right up into it after he got hit in the stomach. So then he crawled off of the court, and the PE teacher felt so bad for him. He was like, "Look, that was kind of uncalled for, even though it was a mistake. If you want to run a lap, I'll let you go back in." So he does. He's like, all right, I'm going to do this for my team. I'm going to do this for myself, I guess.
I will have my revenge.
He runs this complicated lap.
He solves the lap puzzle, and then...
Yeah, and then right as he's like, you can see the smile on his face. And right as he's about to run on, like the movie Dodgeball, he's going to try to catch one to get somebody out or something.
Yeah.
He's like posted up. Like, you could make a trophy out of him running back onto the court, just smiling mid-sprint, and then runs right into a ball that was meant for somebody else. And it hits him across the other side of the face.
Oh, that's good.
It's so thin. Then he just he did this like chicken thing. Because I guess he didn't like want to grab his face, but he was also like disoriented. And so his arms were up, but they weren't touching any of his body. So he just had this weird like arms up thing out of pain. So he got hit and he's like this. And then as his head goes back and his arms go up, he like just because the other side is already very red. Like I should mention Scuba Steve is white. So he's very red from all the times he's been hit.
I kind of felt like it went without saying with the nickname Scuba Steve.
You never know, though.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true.
Want to assume
it's true, but it just I don't know. It's hard to.
I've met a lot of black Bubbas.
Yeah, but I don't know. Bubba's got some flavor to it. Scuba Steve, it's just so nasally. I don't know. It just seems.
Yeah, and he was very, very white. So now he is very, very red. His whole head looks like a cherry, and the kid who kind of like from when you got hit in the balls. The kid who pitched that one was meaning it for a very agile kid. So he put a lot of mustard on it.
Right.
So you can actually see a couple of lines on Steve's face. And now he's been hit so hard that genuinely, I couldn't tell if he was concussed or just blinded by being hit in both sides of the face by the ball. So he just starts wandering towards the other team.
Well, he's got his arms out. He looks like that scene in Platoon. Like, and then he just like falls to his knees.
Yeah. Dude, it was so bad. It gets
more in the back.
And then you just hear the PE coach like, Steve, get out the way. And Steve just is going like, oh God, like because he's like trying to shake it off,
right?
And he doesn't know he's walking in the direction of more oncoming balls, so he gets hit like in the knee and then in the arm and so then he just hits the ground and he just sort of like crawls off of the basketball court. Oh man.
I remember one time in gym class, we were playing Capture the Flag, which I'm assuming everyone knows that game. That's not regional, right? Everyone knows Capture the Flag. You got the gym. It's on either end of the gym. One team's trying to catch the other one. I'm assuming, but I get surprised every now and then what things people don't have. But we were playing, and
you know how poor you'd have to be to not have Capture the Flag? That's literally imagination. That's literally. That's anything could be the flag. Another kid could be the flag.
Well, dude, I started when I started subbing, and I subbed for a PE class, and they were right away. It like was written down. It was like, "Oh, play Six Flags with them," and I was like, "What?" I'm like, That's like hours away, and the price of admission. That's gonna be. There's so many kids here, but it's like they have a new version now where they do 3 flags on each side, and each team has to capture all 3, which I think was just a smart way to make a game go way longer so you don't have to intervene because they're always stealing just flags back and forth. Yeah. Anyway, we were playing Capture the Flag, but this was in the winter. And back when I was in high school, like now the school has like a whole addition added onto it. Like they added a whole extra part. So they didn't have this storage issue before. But during the winter, like in the real dead of it, they would bring out all these big coat racks and kind of put them in like our entry commons area that we called it, the commons. But it was like they just kind of would put this big coat rack there so everyone could hang their winter gear because we did like half lockers, so you couldn't really fit all your stuff in your locker. So you have to like hang your coats in this. During the day though, like it was getting towards lunchtime, and we also would have lunch in the commons. So like about lunchtime, and my gym class was right before lunch, they would move all those coat racks into the gym, right? So those are now kind of just on the back wall near one of the doors. And then we're playing Capture the Flag. And there's at one point where I'm running, going for the flag, and the last thing I remember is looking down and grabbing the flag in my hand. And then the next thing I remember is me looking up and being pulled up off the floor and seeing just everyone laughing very hard, including the gym teacher. He was laughing very hard. Turns out what happened was I was running, and while looking down, and I grabbed the flag. I then, like, a coat had fallen off of the rack. I stepped on that, slid like a cartoon character on a bar of soap, slammed into the coat rack, and then fell down very hard, hitting my head. So I got a concussion. Because I do not remember any of it at all, but they were just like, no. First you were doing this, and you did this, and you're that, and I just said, I'm like, guys, I don't, because they helped me up, and I just went, what happened? Did I win? Did we do it? Did I capture it?
That's insanity.
So I slid and just slammed into it and dropped.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like there's so many instances like that where you're a kid and you're just like playing something and you either you either get hit or you hit something and it reshapes your day.
Well, because that was weird too, because that wasn't even my first concussion at that point, so I kind of knew what had happened. I'm like, I'm missing time, you guys. I think that was another concussion. I've had like 3.
Jeez.
My first, because I had that one, I had a concussion in football where me and another player, we slammed helmets really hard into each other. This was during a football game. We just connected helmets really hard, like stared each other down, and then walked away. And then I got to the sidelines, and I literally just like clutched my head and was like, "Oh fuck!" Like I just had like the worst migraine I've ever felt in my life. The weird thing was the missing time didn't come till later. During the football game, I stopped knowing where I was, like while playing, and I stopped. Like we'd lean in to hear the play, and I wasn't able to like comprehend it. And I was left offensive tackle, and I would always then my friend Tom, who was the guard on my side, it got to the point where I would just turn to him and go, what do I do? What's it on? And he'd be like, when he says hut, block that guy. Like that, and that's how we played like half of a football game. And I gotta say, we watched the game tape the next day. I played a pretty good fucking game for a brain damaged weirdo. I was actually kind of on fire, man. I was watching. I'm like, man, I was making hella blocks. Wish I remember them, but I was doing really good.
Man, I'm waiting for a play in a football game where you know how the linemen line up, where the other team, whichever team is going to employ this strategy, I'm waiting for like the whistle to blow and like the ball to get hiked, and then everyone on the quarterback's team just backs up. Like just back up 3 steps and let everybody from the other line fall. Because you expect another person to be there and like hit you. So it would be so funny if everyone just moved out of the way. It would only work once.
It would only work once. And even then
it would be so funny.
They usually stand up kind of to get in it. They don't just dive forward on their heads.
I mean,
like they just let their hands out. I hope someone catches me.
Yeah, but they stand up like they lunge for that other person. So if you just back up, they're gonna at least trip,
or just knock you on your ass.
I mean, that's the fear. I feel like that's why nobody does it. But legitimately, if you and I like were lined up,
that's the fear.
It is, because it's like if I told a football coach to do that, he'd be like, "You're out of your mind."
I mean, no, it's true. I mean, it's like why they teach you in like when you're a defensive lineman, they teach you to just real quick, right when the ball snaps, just quick like grab the shoulder of the lineman across from you and just tug it down a little bit and swim over them. Because a lot of times they will, if they haven't started standing up yet, you can just pull a dude right down.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, it would work once.
It would work one time
because they.
And then you get your ass throttled for the rest of the game because you've embarrassed this team, and they're out for blood now.
I mean, if they want to try, but they don't know if you're going to stand up again or not. Right. Now you've set up that fear. because it's exactly like when you watch a football game and you watch like don't even watch the rest of the play, just watch the linemen. I'm telling you, man, they even though they're standing up, they're leaning way too heavy forward.
Yeah.
They don't even take, half the time, they don't even get to take a step forward. They literally just stand up, lean forward, and there's already somebody blocking them. So if you just move out the way,
I like the tips from Coach Joshy here. These are good.
I got one play for every game. What else you want? Baseball? All right.
Did I tell you about this? Just happened a couple weeks ago when this comes out, but there was the Iowa State high school football playoffs were happening, and I can't remember if I told you about this, but there was like the highest scoring game in state history just happened, and I'll tell you this: one of the teams scored 94 points, and they didn't win.
Wow. So
the final score was 108-94. That's an NBA score, not a high school football game score.
I can't tell if that means both teams are really good or both teams are horrible.
But that's what it was on while I was teaching at school. One kid, then it was like third quarter still. One kid's like, it's like 70 something to 60 something. And I said, did neither team bring a defense? Did they forget? Are they down? Are they down, people? But it was just, I mean, it was 8-man football too. 8-man tends to be a little more high scoring just because I think, I don't know, you got a little more wiggle room or something, but there's less dudes out there.
Wait, how many is it supposed to be?
11. It's usually 11 on 11, but they're smaller schools, a different division that does 8-man football.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're missing people, yeah, I imagine you'd score more.
But they usually
high.
they restrict the field a little bit too. It's not like the full football field. But yeah, 108 to 94.
I mean, you'd imagine those have been some of the best plays in the history of high school football, or else both teams are just really bad at stopping things they don't want to have happen.
The clips I saw, it was actually just a fairly sloppy game. Like there was one point like the quarterback just got hung up and just kind of like lobbed it awkwardly, and someone caught it, ran it in. Like it was.
That's
I think it was
insane.
It just felt like a you know, like a schoolyard football game where it's like both teams had a really good player each, and then no one else really knew what they were doing. You know, just taking turns running it back.
Gosh. That feels like it feels like when you watch. I mean, we haven't watched that many together or anything, but it feels like when you watch some of those rare, like professional MMA fights where both people are bad.
Yeah,
and it's there's a lot of knockdowns. But it's not because either one of them are good. Like,
no.
One was a trip.
I mean, it's like if you drop a pot of chili, sometimes it'll look like a Jackson Pollock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every now and then you'd be like, oh wait, okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. I got to shampoo the carpet, but look at that.
A Jackson Pollock is, I mean, a bowl of chili is a Jackson Pollock twice a day. because this is the thing, when you're dealing with like things that could have you prone to injury like that, like football or combat sports or anything like that, it's like sometimes it's just very funny because sometimes the effort to do damage and the effort to avoid damage can sometimes look very funny. Like I actually went to an amateur MMA. It was like an amateur promotion. So these people are fighting to like improve their record to go pro, you know?
Right.
Because like, you know, something like the UFC or something like that, you want to have an impressive record coming in, not just for you to be able to say I'll belong here, but also for them to take you seriously. And so you see a lot of these like hometown, just like homegrown MMA matches that are like, oh man,
the ones that make you go, is this legal?
Yeah. But not even, here's the thing.
They used to have those in like bars in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I'd be like, I feel like that that shouldn't be happening. This just feels like this is just sanctioned assault. It feels like kind of really.
Yeah, what people don't seem to understand with those two is that only a handful of them are like really bad. Like really bad, sloppy, you don't want to look at the person's face, their face is burger. Usually they're bad because they end very quickly and they're one-sided. So I actually watched one of them. I have no idea what happened to this guy, but he was beating he was beating everyone on a dominant level. Like he was beating them, not even in a way where you're like, this man is skilled. This dude at one point, which this isn't even legal, you should never do this. This dude was beating another guy so badly that then the guy jumped him to try to go for a guillotine choke. If you don't know what a guillotine is, it's basically when you get someone in a headlock and then you try to choke them out leaning back, right?
Yeah.
And This guy was not only not being choked, was not like responding to the choke at all.
Yeah.
He stood up with the guy still on him, took his mouthpiece out so he could take some deep breaths, then put his mouthpiece back in and slammed that dude to the ground. When he took his mouthpiece out, I was like, guys, you need to stop this fight. This isn't a fight.
Yeah,
this isn't a fight. And the only
He's
person
about to
who
eat
doesn't-
him.
Yeah, the only person who doesn't know it is the guy who thinks he's choking him.
Yeah, the only one who doesn't know he's losing is the backpack.
The guy who's like, are you out yet? Is he standing up because he's out? Is that him quitting?
Yeah.
And then
Am I being picked up because I won?
I
And everyone's
watched
so proud of me?
I watched a guy try to get away from another guy who was really coming at him just with a barrage of punches. And instead of trying to dodge any of the punches or counter or go for a takedown or anything, this dude literally ran like he was an extra in a Borat movie. It was like
In a what movie?
the Borat movie. Remember they did that MMA scene?
Bo Rat?
Yeah.
Oh, Borat?
I thought it was Borat.
Are we, as in like my wife, Borat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe
just-
I'm thinking of Bruno.
I think you're thinking of Bruno, but also
Yeah.
just the way you said Borat. It was like Bo Rat. Like it sounded like a Southern wrestler.
Yeah, who
Like
well,
Bo-
how am I supposed to say it?
Borat. Like
Borat.
Yeah. No, I get it now that you say it, but first you were like in that Bo Rat movie.
Yeah, well, how do you say it?
Borat. Like
Borat.
I want to be very clear. I'm not like laughing at your pronunciation. I'm just laughing at how you keep doing it the same way. It's
Well,
little.
I'm trying to
Make some noise for Josh Jassy!
Wow, thank you so much for having me. This is so cool. I am happy to spend the 4th of July with you. Maybe you're not aware of some of our customs on the 4th of July. One of them that sticks out is a hot dog eating contest. And I've been traveling the world, and a lot of people think that they know what a hot dog is. They even think that they have their own version of a hot dog. And as I've traveled the world, I can honestly say that no, you don't. Because you all here, I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, but you have bratwurst. That's not hot dog at all. That's good. You have to understand, to make a hot dog, like bratwurst is beef or veal. It's a meat with herbs and spices in it, cooked well. A hot dog, especially in America, a hot dog is something that to make you first have to find. And when I say find, I mean like putting together a proper hot dog in its casing and to serve is a lot like a witch's spell. You have to find meat that's first on the floor. It's very important this meat is on the floor. If the meat is not on the floor, you might not be making a hot dog. You have to find this meat that's on the floor. You have to couple it all together. You have to push it through this machine. And bratwurst, once again, beef, veal, you can only hold together a proper hot dog with hate and like a touch, like a dash, just a little bit of poverty, right? So you have some hate, you have, you can get a side of anger in there too. And then you put it together into a hot dog, you wrap it up nicely so it looks like it might be edible. Because I don't know if you've had a hot dog. In order to prepare a hot dog, it's not like preparing a bratwurst. You have to boil a hot dog. And in order to boil the hot dog, it means you do have to ruin some water. You put the hot dog in the water, you boil it up, that cooks the hot dog. Cooks is a strong word. What are you cooking? It's demon meat. But you boil the hot dog up, so then you pull it out, that's cooked. You then put it in a bun to cover up that you're eating a hot dog. The water you have to dispose of like toxic waste. A lot of people will pour this down the sink. Don't do that. Don't get that mixed in with the regular. When I was little, I had a friend who his mom had a flower garden, and he'd make hot dogs after school, and then he'd pour the water in the hot dog garden, and all of the flowers died. Because that is runoff poison water. But yeah, you boil a hot dog, and then you eat it, and when you eat it, you're supposed to close your eyes and pretend you're chewing something else. Because this is going to be nasty. You can try to dress it up with mustard, ketchup, with mayo relish, with whatever manner of things people do. Some people will act really, really holier than thou about how they prepare their hot dog, as if a hot dog is not a mystery of meat mushed together I say all that because on the 4th of July, there is a hot dog eating contest that takes place. And the winner this year, once again, is a man named Joey Chestnut. And this year, he ate 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes, which is the correct response. You know how I said that when you felt physically ill? That's how you're supposed to feel on the 4th of July after eating as many hot dogs as possible. I believe the record is 76 hot dogs. And I remember one time my buddy entered a hot dog eating contest, and he was super excited about it. And he had watched Kobayashi, he had watched Joey Chestnut, and he thought he could do it too. He was like, if they can do it, I can do it. Let's give it a try, right? And so he entered the hot dog eating contest, and it wasn't like the official Nathan's hot dog. It was just like a local one that was happening on 4th of July. And he entered the contest, sat down with the other contestants, and then over the course of 10 minutes, my friend ate 2. This man ate 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes. We were watching it like, when is he gonna kick into gear? Like, when is it? There are other people that are literally like swallowing hot dogs as fast as possible. There was one dude that was this was incredible. He was screaming hot dogs down, right? He was like, oh! Meanwhile, our buddy, hot dogs in 10 minutes. We went from cheering to booing. We started out supportive. Initially, we were like, yeah, get him, you can do it. And then, when it was clear he couldn't, we were like, stop, you wasting a hot dog. And when he got done, we asked him, hey, what happened? We drove you here. You the one wanted to go way out the way to enter this contest to waste everybody's time. 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes is not a contest, that's a meal. What's wrong with you? And he was like, I panicked. What are you panicking about? He's like, I saw everybody else do it, and they were so fast. I was like, how are they not choking? And then I remembered I might choke. So then I started chewing extra. I was scared to choke. I was like, if you had at least choked, then 2 hot dogs in 10 minutes would be more reasonable. You got people over here fighting to get hot dogs now. He over here chewing responsibly. I do my best when I go anywhere to be as good of a guest as I can. You know, it means a lot to me to have me over here and for me to be your guest for a little while. I've been looking forward to this trip for a long time. And I'm always a little tense when I'm a guest, though. You know, even if it's just visiting a friend's house, you want to be a good guest. You don't want to leave and then have them be like, never again. You know, like I get nervous to be seen as a bad guest. I don't want anything to go wrong. Like I've had to stay over, you know, for a couple nights at friends' houses, and they're like, "Oh, make yourself at home. What's mine is yours." I feel like that's a trap. You know, because you really make yourself at home and then you find out how much they mean it later. It's like, I'd rather just act like I shouldn't be in here at all. Quiet as a mouse, you know. I'll just act like I broke in and just try to affect as little as possible in the home. And they'll be like, what? He's such a good guest. We didn't even know he was here. One time I got so stressed out about being a guest at my friend's house while they were out of town that I just never went. And they were like, Josh, our apartment looks amazing. Did you do all this cleaning before you left? I was like, yep, you know it. Wanted to leave it better than I found it, you know. Because even being the guest at a party, that's like a short-term guest. When you're just there for the party, you're just there, you know, a few hours, maybe half the day if it goes long. And I'm terrified to be a bad guest there. I just don't want to be remembered in a bad light. And there was this one time where I went to a friend's party, and I'm not great at parties to begin with. You know, I'm very much in the corner, or if I know one person at the party, that will be the person that I'm talking to the entire party. Like it will be a burden on them. Sometimes I see a friend that I know at a party and no one else, and I'm like, ooh, you about to have a bad time at this party. I hate that for you. I'm very sorry. But it's either talk to you or talk to a stranger, and come on. And so, you know, I was at this party, and my friend who actually invited me to the party was late. We were supposed to meet up together, and I misunderstood the text message. I thought they were already in there. So I knock on the door, I meet the host, I tell him, you know, oh, I'm friends with, and then he lets me in, which is a huge mistake. Because now I'm just sort of standing awkwardly while other people have a great time. And so I was like, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? This is the fail-safe. Every time you need a break from social interaction, or you just need to get your bearings together because you're in a public place and you're sort of freaking out, you go to the bathroom. The bathroom is the safe haven, right? And so I walk to the bathroom, I close the door behind me, and it's a little dim in the bathroom, but I use the bathroom, right? Other reason to go. And as I'm stepping away from the toilet, I hear this little crunch, like under my feet, and I look at it, and it's all of this glass under my feet, and it looks like the actual light bulb either popped or broke or something, and then now I've stepped in it. And as I really start to look around the bathroom, I realized that it is an absolute disaster in there. It is horrifically bad. So the bathroom mirror is smashed. I didn't notice it at first when I walked in, and the glass is in the sink, and there's a little bit of blood in the sink, right? And so I'm standing there, and I look over at the tub, and the shower curtain is pulled back, and there's a fur coat in the tub. And I'm like, all these things are too much for one thing. You know what I mean? Like this would be a shutting the bathroom down for a short period of time at the party if just one of them happened, and all of them are happening right now. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. I flush. That's as much as I can clean up right now. And then I'm a bit panicked, so I get ready to just get out of the bathroom, because if I can get out scot-free, if no one sees me come out of the bathroom, someone else can address this thing, because I don't know anyone here. My only friend is late, and the host has just seen me once. So I get ready to, I don't even, admittedly, this is gross, sorry, but I wasn't even gonna wash my hands, because I was like, there's a whole bunch of blood in there anyway. They'd be dirtier than when they were unwashed. And so I get ready to pull on the doorknob, and I hear a knock. And I can't open the door. There's no way I could open the door and be like, all yours. You know? It's crazy in there. And so I hear the knock, and I think to myself, oh no. There's no way. First of all, if you need to go to the bathroom, the last thing you want is for someone to open the door and be like, all right, before you get in there, I just want you to know none of this is my fault, okay? Before you walk in with judgment, just know anything can happen to anybody at any point. Like, if you had been a little quicker with your feet, this would have been you, okay? I don't know what to do as I'm just standing there. And I'm admittedly standing there for like way too long. Like, and I hear a knock again. And I'm like, all right, I gotta do something. I gotta buy myself some time. And so I just say, 1 second. That's bought me 1 second. I have to use it wisely. And in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I could try to clean up. I'm over here in my head freaking out, because this is my worst nightmare. I'm gonna look like a terrible guest. I'm at a party where I don't know anybody, and I'm gonna look like I destroyed this bathroom. And so I'm Googling all types of stuff. I'm over here Googling, does glass flush? Like, does glass flush? How fast can you get blood out of the sink? If you were to look at my Google search history on this night, it would look like I definitely killed someone. Or at least a small animal, because I was also Googling, like, does fur disintegrate? Like, and so I just spent another minute and a half sweating and freaking out. And then I hear a knock, but this knock is like thicker. It's just like strong. It's clearly a different knock. It's clearly a different person. And that person is like, hey, come on, people waiting. I'm like, people? People are waiting. Okay, all right. People implies more than one person, which does imply, plural, and plural could just be two. It could just be the initial guy that knocked and is very patient, or maybe left, who knows? Maybe he had to use the bathroom so bad that he left the party completely, but this person is adamant, hey, I gotta get in there, right? And he said, people are waiting. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, 2 people are waiting. And then he yells out, you got a line out here. What's happening in there? And I looked down at my phone, and I had been in the bathroom for like 15 minutes. Like, I had let this go way too far. And so I froze. I didn't know what to do at all. It's like your absolute worst nightmare as a person that's like gets weird in like social interactions. To actually have this weird thing happen to you is like, I think maybe this is hell. I think maybe I've died. And so I'm pacing back and forth in the bathroom, which is only breaking more light bulb glass. And I finally look out of the little window, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to leave. Like I'm gonna have to jump out of the window. And in my like panic, I forgot that we were on the first floor. So it wasn't like a big jump or anything, but I did have to climb out of a window that wasn't man-sized. Luckily, neither am I. I was squeezing my hips at like an angle, like I put my hips like diagonal to the edges of the window to get as much space as possible, and I wiggled out. I fell out of the window, and I tried as much as I could to like pull the window back up from outside so that people wouldn't be like, oh, whoever it was went out the window. And then I was like, what do I do though? What if someone saw me go in, remembers me perfectly even though they don't know me, and could point me out, you know, because I wear the same thing every day. And so I'm like, the only option I have is to go back in. Is to go back in and join the line for the bathroom. And so I walk around the house and I'm thinking to myself, okay, all I gotta do is watch out for the host. His host was greeting me when I first walked in. As long as the host is like got to that point in the party where they're not greeting everybody and they're not answering the door every time, I should be good. And so I wait, some other people were arriving and they knock on the door. Someone else opens the door. I'm like, this is my chance. I sneak in behind those two other people and I immediately walk to the line for the bathroom. And luckily, my buddy who was late was in the back of the line, and he's like, can you just believe this? No, I do my best to be like a good house guest, you know, and especially when I travel, because when I travel, I have to do it as an American. I have to travel as an American now. You know? And it's like, I'm traveling more than I ever have in my life, experiencing new places for the first time. But one thing that I will say is, okay, there used to be a time where you would travel when you were from the U.S. You would go to other places and you would say that you were from the U.S. and people, there was a shine to it. There genuinely was like this like magnificent shine around you and your passport. People had questions for you. You know, you would say you were from the U.S. and they'd be like, oh, blue jeans. Wow. And then over time, the shine started to wear off a little bit, you know, like the way that we were perceived on the world stage started to change, and you would tell people that you were from the U.S. and they'd be like, oh yes, yeah, Beyonce. And now, you travel the world, and look, people ask me. I don't go around telling everyone my business all the time. People ask me, hell, where are you from? And I go, oh, it's... is American. And they're like, what? What? I didn't hear. Oh, is United States. What? I'm American. I'm from the U.S. From America. And I've traveled these past 2 weeks to Paris, Dublin, Brussels, Antwerp, now here. And there is a similarity. This happened more in Brussels and Antwerp than anywhere else, but it has also happened here where people will ask me where I'm visiting from, and then I will tell them. And there's a look and a noise you make that's genuinely offensive. Like it is. Once again, you asked me. I didn't say anything. I walk into the shop. Y'all are the ones, asking questions and stuff. And then I say that I'm from the U.S. I'm visiting from America. And then you go, oh. You get the face or you get the noise. You don't get both. Oh. I grew up in Louisiana, all right? And when I was, sure. And when I was in Louisiana, I have friends who live in all different parts of the state. And one of my friends, he actually lives he's in a rural area. He's in some swamp area near the bayou and everything. There's a bunch of things floating in the water, a bunch of predators out there. He does his hunting. He comes back home. That's mainly how he sustains himself and everything. And there was one time he was having a barbecue. A bunch of friends came over, and one of his buddies, his buddy Spence, came over and was having a cigarette off by himself. He walked off away from the barbecue to have his cigarette. And then sometime later, he comes back over, and in the back door, the way that a lot of the houses are built in Louisiana is you have your door and you have your screen door. And the screen door can keep out the bugs while also letting air flow into the home and everything. And so he pops his head near the screen door, and his head only. And Spence leans in and he says, "Hey, can you call an ambulance?" And our friend is like, "What? Why?" If anyone ever asks you to call an ambulance, just do it right away. I'm sure that they have a good reason. I'm sure they're not just getting you to do it for fun because they want to hear the siren. I think that they probably need some help. And so he's like, if you could just call him, that'd be great. Can you please just call him? And he's being very calm. And so our friend walks up and pokes his head out of the screen door, and he sees that Spence, though calm, is standing there, and there is a baby alligator around his foot. And that's the way you look at me when I tell you that I'm from the U.S. Now, coming here at a time where tourism in the U.S. is way down. Yeah, people aren't coming to visit as often. It's like if people used to love to come visit all the time, and then something happened. It'd be like if you went over to your friend's house all the time growing up, and then one day, you stopped going, and your friend was like, why? Why wouldn't you just come over like you used to? Come hang out. And you're like, oh, well, last time I was there, your dad threw a plate at my head, so I think I'm good coming over for a while. You know? And so tourism is down in the U.S. People are choosing other places to go. And one of the main places that they're choosing to come is to Europe. It's all these places, like, some people will come to Berlin. A lot of it is happening in Spain with Barcelona and Madrid, in Italy, in Paris as well. And it's getting to the point where there's so much tourism, people are actually calling it like over-tourism. And this is happening at the same time as like massive heat waves, like wild heat waves, some of which we've never seen before. It's never been as hot as it is now. It's very hot. Luckily, not here today. But this week you had, one of your hottest days on record. I can't even imagine what that must have been like, because you all are like fit people. Like, you get on bikes to go you have to understand, my frame of reference is the US. So the fact that you're even walking next to a bike is leaps and bounds. I can't imagine trying to ride a bike in that heat, or running. Some of you run. And so that's wild that this level of like over tourism is happening at the same time as this heat wave. And there are people in Paris, there are people in Spain and Italy that have had enough. They're losing it over this. They're protesting the tourists. They're over here being like, stop it. Stop coming here right now. Talk amongst yourselves and spread it out throughout the year or something. But this is too much. You have places like, I could be wrong about these numbers, but I think in Barcelona you have like 1.6 million people living there, but like 26 million people visit throughout the year. That's wild. I understand that if you live in Barcelona and you're trying to ride your bike, eventually you're like, get out of the way! And then if you live in Barcelona, you're tired of all these tourists everywhere all the time, and you start freaking out. You might get a reputation for being a little bit rude to tourists, and then you'll be New York. But people are doing the best they can to protest. There's been all these different types. People get creative and stuff. There's one where they were shooting tourists with water guns throughout the day. Get out of here! Ah! Like when a dog tries to pee on the carpet. Although as far as protests go, you can tell that these are like good people doing the protesting, because that's what you came with, water guns. Water gun. I don't know. I'm coming from the U.S. where it would have just been guns. Like this. You can tell these are people who have a deep moral core, because you used water guns to protest tourists during a heat wave. They probably didn't even understand what was happening. They were probably over here like, oh, the Spanish are so hospitable. They saw how hot we were. And then some strangers we didn't even know were like, cooling us off. And I get the genuine frustration though, but this is the main problem, is that whether it's business or whether it's government, systems have a magnificent way of pitting us against each other. Like, there are people that are local that are upset because obviously with all this tourism, Airbnbs are shooting up. Airbnbs raise the price of living in the area, so then people are getting priced out of their homes. They're getting priced out of the areas that they grew up in. They have to find somewhere else to live, all for people who don't live here, who are just coming to peak, and then they head home. And that can be incredibly frustrating, but that's the people who are coming to visit didn't come up with a master plan. Airbnb and the government that allows Airbnb to run rampant are the people to blame. You should be taking, like, if you're gonna take anger out on anybody, it should be the local government and the Airbnb that allows it to run rampant. You should be using the water guns on the computers at this. You know, because I think that that's the main way that systems get to stay intact. They see this, Airbnb sees it, and local government sees it, and they're like, well, we get to rake in money while the people that live here blame somebody else. Why would we ever change our practices? You know? And I don't really know what the exact fix is. You know, I remember when Airbnb was like at your house. There was a time early in Airbnb's history where you were just renting a room in someone's house, and so they lived there, and then they collected the money from you staying with them like a little mini hotel. But that was like easier because then they lived here, so they cared about the home, they cared about the community, and you got to get a taste of like local life. And you could even ask them, hey, is there anywhere I should go to eat? And they would tell you, this is where we're going to eat tonight. And sometimes you would actually have a meal with your host. And I thought that was a really beautiful thing. And then like private equity and more money got involved, and so it ruined it. Because now an Airbnb is also like sometimes worse than a hotel, because they'll let the person who owns the Airbnb set the rules. So now you have someone setting these insane rules for the Airbnb. Like, you can't just check out. You can't just take your trash, put it outside, and leave. There are all these rules. Like, you have to make sure to wash the cabinets, wash all the dishes and everything, wipe everything down, you know, give our dog a bath. Also, you don't get charged a cleaning fee that you end up getting charged anyway, because in the small print, it was like, pick up our kid from school. And you didn't see that part. So now you're spending all this money on Airbnb to just go somewhere nice like Italy. And then you get to Italy and everyone's mad at you for visiting Italy, but you're also mad because you're like, the rules in this Airbnb say I have to buy this house before I leave.
Please make a bunch of noise right now for my friend Josh Johnson!
I watch a lot of true crime documentaries and series and stuff, and I like to watch the ones that, as best as possible, don't involve murder, because genuinely I'll be like, oh, this is wild, but this is also very sad. So I like the ones where it's like a robbery. You know what I mean? I like when it's like a huge drug bust, something you can really sink your teeth into without being like, oh, there is a family to be sad for. You know what I mean? And what I love is the process of when the person is sure they're not going to talk. You know what I mean? They'll bring somebody in, and when the person gets brought in, some people really hang tough. Some people, you know, door slams behind them. I've never been to jail, but I hear the doors are heavy. Door slams behind them. They actually get more tough. They sit in an interrogation like, what? I'm not gonna tell you nothing. You want something out of me? You got the wrong one, okay? And then there's other people, that door slams, and as soon as it slams, they're like, listen, I wasn't there, all right? It was Robert, it was Terry, Robert and Terry, it was their plan anyway. If anything, I'm an innocent bystander. I was just in the car. Y'all know when y'all arrested us, I was in the back seat, that's for a reason. I wasn't even the getaway driver. I thought we were going to McDonald's. Like, just, there are some people who snitch so fast, even the police can't write it down fast enough. Police are like, well, we got it on tape too, but yeah, this is too fast for the shorthand. Imagine you snitch so fast, you make a cop go, hold on. Take a breath. Because you never know who it's gonna be. There are some people who were, you know, whether it was gang activity, it's mob activity, there are people who are like the run of the litter, and they're the ones that actually hold out. They're like, I'm not telling you anything. I don't even think you have enough on me. Let's play, let's roll the dice. And then there are people, no matter how tatted up, no matter how affiliated, it might even run in the family. They might be somebody who is third generation, but they don't want to be in prison. They don't want to be in jail. And so as soon as they have the opportunity, they tell them everything. Things they didn't even ask. You see a lot of it, you know? Then you have people who at first don't tell. Then they're ready to talk after like a couple years. You know what I mean? After a couple years, you know, have enough mold on your sandwich that you're like, it's really not worth it. Like, nobody coming to visit me. Like, no. That's what makes me wonder what must be going through Ghislaine Maxwell's mind. You know what I mean? Look, I'm no legal expert, but I do find it wild that in this supposed cabal, this supposed billionaire ring of predators, that the only one you caught is the one you're ready to make a deal with. And a deal for what? You know what I mean? Exposing more names? Bringing other people down? Probably not. Probably just being bribed to not say the president's name. You know? And look, I could be wrong. I don't think I am. Because you've already seen Trump float the idea of pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. We even know from old tapes they thought about pardoning her way back when she got sentenced. You know? And yeah, no, I agree. I'm not a fan of it. She's not here. I'm not a fan. The boo. This is somebody's essence being booed. Like, this. No, it is genuinely insane what's happening because, you know, Trump floated the pardon. He even was asked by the press if he would pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, and he goes, look, I could, but let's not talk about it right now. What an insane thing to say. You got asked a yes or no question, and you somehow answered worse than yes or no. I've never been doing a test and got a true false and put maybe. I don't know, you the teacher, you tell me. That's insane. Already floated a pardon in front of us, maybe to gauge our reaction. Maybe if there's not enough outrage, the pardon will go ahead. And then, DOJ goes, have a conversation with Ghislaine Maxwell. And already, I think it was today, just today, she's been moved from the prison and she was in to a minimum security facility somewhere else. Thought we covered this. I too hope she can feel your booze. I hope booze work like laxatives, you know. Ghislaine Maxwell just sitting in jail right now. You know, booze don't travel that fast, and so it comes in waves out of nowhere. She's having a conversation. Oh yeah, Trump and Epstein were there. Ooh. That's my hope. No idea if that's the case. But, you know, you see this sort of thing happening. It feels insane. It feels insane to watch in real time. This is the only person, the one person that got caught, the one person that's being held accountable. And everybody's so obsessed with like the idea of a list or more people or whoever they want to be on the list being on the list that they forget that there were real people that deserve justice. And the idea that the only person that we've so far got might go free is unacceptable, you know? Because you see Trump floating, pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, and I can't imagine what it must be like to be a Trump aide. Like your nose must bleed every day. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking of pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, and the aide is like, what? I asked you what you want for breakfast. If anything, I think I am a little bit, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I feel sorry for my friends who didn't see it coming because they still believed in like a system and they still believed in like laws and they believed that jail existed for like a reason, you know? And I am, I'm black. So I kind of saw a good portion of this coming. It's like, anyone who's genuinely shocked that Ghislaine Maxwell might get a pardon and that she's already been moved to a minimum security prison after being convicted, but then talking to the DOJ under like new light. Anyone who's surprised by that has never watched the first 48 before. And they think that people aren't going to see through it. You know, this is a lot like when you're in school and you didn't do your homework, but you remembered there was homework right as the teacher says, pass up the homework. And so you fighting. You've never worked a pencil harder. You fighting to get words on a page. It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. It's you going over the whole scarlet letter as fast as you can. And then you pass it up. Teacher collects all the papers and you think, maybe I got away with it. All we had to do was 300 words summarized in the last chapter of Scarlet Letter. I think I did it, pulled it off. Felt like 300, might have been 290. And then class is going on. Maybe you have to read while the teacher grades the homework, and then teacher says your name, calls you up to the front. You're like, okay, don't panic. Maybe I did a good job so fast she's impressed. That's a possibility. And then you walk up to the front, and the teacher's like, did you do this just now? And you don't know what to do. You're caught. She caught you. But there's another part of you that's like, maybe if I die with the lie, she'll believe me. What? Just now? No, I did this at home. And she's like, you sure? You're like, uh-oh, she's on to me. Yes, I did this at home. And then she was like, oh, okay, great, that's good news. I was worried that you did it just now, which means you wouldn't have your math homework. And then you remembered that this has been math class the entire time. That at least feels like what Trump is going through. Because if Trump was smart, he would have done all this stuff a long time ago when it could have maybe still been believable. But now, everybody sees through it. Oh, it's crazy. It's so crazy. And then, on top of that, this is already insane enough. Already, there are so many ties to Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, that even a pardon just feels like it would be happening in our faces, right? There's no misunderstanding about the conflict of interest. There's no misunderstanding about what her role is if she does testify in front of Congress or whoever. And there's no misunderstanding about what the quid pro quo is between the two of them. You know what I mean? And even in that moment, on top of all that, Donald Trump floats pardoning Diddy. And it's like, that one doesn't even have anything to do with you. I don't think. Don't you have enough to deal with? That's crazy. As someone who is not in jail, I'm sweating about everybody who's about to be out of jail. This is insane. So then already the public, especially by the media, somewhat, somewhat potentially unintentional, but the media did a disservice to the public when it came to Diddy's trial, because there's a lot that we know of Diddy. There's a lot that we know that he did, that he's alleged to have done. And I think that the state put forward a remarkably bad case to try to lock Diddy up, because I think from the public's view, they see the trial and you see it through the lens that the media is selling. The media wants you to keep watching, they want you to tune in every day, and so they make it look like he's about to do 10,000 years, right? They really hype this thing up. They never really mention that all the while the trial is going on, pieces are getting dropped. Left and right, charges are getting dropped. There's things that the state is focusing on. There's things that the state is dropping. There's things that we understand that Diddy is at least allegedly done from all the documentaries that came out. You would think that Diddy was 16 OJs, the way that he had documentaries coming out about him every month. Everything Diddy ever did to anybody, they got their own documentary on Tubi, on HBO, on Hulu. Everywhere. Oh, he hung me out of a window. Like, just nonstop stories, right? But it's important to remember what he's being charged with and what he's on trial for. So then things would even come up during the trial. Things that are illegal, that they were just talking about plainly, all to get to the thing he's actually being charged with. So as bad as this testimony sounds, and as many things that are going on, you have to remember, these are not the things he's being charged with. And I think that media got carried away. I think the news got carried away because they finally had something juicy, something big, something that they knew was going to last for days, weeks, months, that wasn't the same old stuff, something that had a bunch of intrigue in it. Apparently there's all these tapes. Apparently he has all this blackmail on all of Hollywood. There's all these things that were supposed to be coming out during the trial, you know? And then the state supposedly makes their case. They read out the verdict. Everyone is sure that this man is about to do 10 million years. And then they read the first one, not guilty. And they start reading them, and there's 5 charges, and 3 of them not guilty. The 3 that carried the most weight, the 3 that had like a minimum 15, 20 years, you know? And then there's 2 misdemeanors. Those 2 misdemeanors he is found guilty of. The people are perplexed. How is he found guilty of these things that are at least tangentially related to the other charges that he hasn't been found guilty for? What's happening, right? And those charges, the things that he was convicted of, they don't carry some mandatory minimum. You know, he could get time served. He could get up to 10 years. He could still do 20 years. But it's not likely that he'll do 20 years, because that is the most extreme of cases where you give people the maximum. And I even rewatched a little bit of the reading of the verdict, and I just thought to myself, could get time served. Why would you bother pardoning him? Like, he might already be walking out of jail that day. That's such a crazy thing to do. You don't have enough going on with everybody thinking you were like on an island 152 times or whatever. To be a Trump aide, you must need heart medication, because they already try to convince him, look, that looks bad if you just pardon Ghislaine out of nowhere after all this time and everything, after everything she knows and the pictures that y'all are in together, all the pictures that you're 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 in together, the other pictures that you're in together, the pictures that you're in together, all of the pictures that you're in together, plus, she did have 19 phone numbers for you. That's not a good look either. And then Trump says, I see what you're saying. I understand. All right, look, what we're gonna do, we do best. All right, gonna run a little interference. We're gonna run a little distraction, okay? And we're also gonna pardon Sean Diddy Combs at the same time. Karen, press secretary, must be fighting demons. I can't imagine. Look, everyone, whether it's Kellyanne Conway, it's Sean Spicer, anyone who has had to represent the Trump administration, go out to the press and answer questions. Look, I understand they chose that job. I understand that they chose to be there. But to a degree, you do have to wonder what the conversation is like before they go out. When they get handed a binder, and at the last second, one of the aides says, and he gonna pardon Diddy. So, no matter who it was, whether it was Sarah Huckabee Sanders, anyone who has represented the administration on the news or in the press room or anything like that, there's at least been 1 or 2 days where they had a 1,000-yard stare because they were like, how am I gonna pull this together? Because look, things came out during Diddy's trial, things that made you think, of course, this jury is gonna find this man guilty. They have to look at everything that they've heard, but you gotta remember the things he was on trial for and the things that they heard didn't always line up. There was one day of testimony that truly blew me away in that case. And that's hard to say because plenty of those days were rough to listen to. But there is one day in particular that has stuck with me in a different way than the other days. It was the day that Kid Cudi testified. Now, famously, still somehow allegedly, Diddy supposedly blew up Kid Cudi's car. You're bringing the man who has his car blown up to testify. You would think that that'd be one of the charges. I've never blown up a car in my life. But if I was brought to court to sit and hear testimony of my crimes, I would imagine the car blowing up would be one of them listed. Anyway, they bring in Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's testifying about the timeline when he dated Cassie, things that happened between him and Diddy. And then he describes a day that is truly harrowing. Kid Cudi is testifying that while he was gone, he was actually, I believe, spending some time with Cassie, that Diddy hears about the relationship, is very upset about it, and Diddy went to and broke into Kid Cudi's house, right? So already, Diddy in your home, that's terrifying. Diddy in your home is the devil's version of Elf on the Shelf. You don't know what he gonna do. You don't know where he gonna be. Ooh. So Diddy was in his home. Now, I'm a little fuzzy on this part, but apparently, I believe at least, that it was Diddy's assistant that called Kid Cudi to let him know, hey, okay, ooh, how do I tell you this? There's no good way. Diddy in your house. He is all up in your house. I mean, I drove him. He made me. He's like, where you live? And I was like, and we went over to your house. And so he's in your house. I'm not now, I'm outside. You know, he told me to wait here. I don't know what he gonna do. And so, Kid Cudi rushes home. And not only is he rushing home, he actually, this is at least as I understand it, must have Diddy's number because they had a conversation. And he was like, yo, you in my house? You in my house? Bass in voice, ready to beat somebody down. You in my house? And apparently, Diddy very calmly said, yeah. Kid Cudi better than me. If it was me, I wouldn't have a home anymore. If it was me, I'd be like, all right, then you got it, then that's, I mean, if you're already there. Someone breaking and entering into your home and then calmly telling you they broke and entered into your home is more terrifying than I think y'all are giving it credit for. Because then Cudi, apparently, according to testimony, was like, I'm headed there right now, like ready to really beat this dude down, right? And then Diddy said, okay, I'll be waiting for you. I wasn't in court. I had to read all this, and I haven't read a novel by Stephen King scarier than what I read between the two of them. Kid Cudi gets home, Diddy's gone. He walks into the house. Now, that's braver than me. I would assume he's already planted a bomb somewhere. But Kid Cudi walks into the house, is looking around, assessing the damage, and while Diddy was there, he put Kid Cudi's dog in the bathroom, then opened all his Christmas presents and left. That is so insane. We are dealing with pure evil. That is so insane. Open all his Christmas presents. How is he all at once one of the most menacing figures that hip hop has ever seen and a third grade bully? How is it possible that both of these characters hold the same space in the same body? Because that is so particularly evil. He said, I walked over, Christmas presents unwrapped. I opened the bathroom door, my dog confused. And why wouldn't the dog be confused? Let's, for a moment, if you will, put yourself in the dog's paws, all right? You're a dog. You a dog. You're a dog. And you're at home, chilling, as you should be. And then the door opens. Oh, Papa? No, it's not the owner that you love. It's Sean Diddy Combs. I don't know what type of dog Cudi has. I don't know if it's a Scooby-Doo type dog, but I imagine any dog would be like, really? And then Diddy walks over to you confidently, like he knows you. And then he puts you in the bathroom and you're like, okay, I guess that's the best possible outcome. Oh, wow, okay, oof. I thought something way worse was gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wow, that's great. From what I've heard about you, the bathroom, man, I don't love it in here, but it's better than whatever you're about to do. And then Sean Diddy Combs opens all the Christmas presents and goes, well, my work is done here, and exits. This is how evil what he did is. He already messed up the call to the police. Because now you're going to call the police and have to explain to the police that the only thing that Diddy stole from you was wonder. Imagine that call to the police. You gotta call the police and tell them that Diddy, and the police are asking you very reasonable questions. They're over here like, is he still in the home? I don't know. Hopefully that would make this whole thing a bit more serious. Right now he's left it at hilarious, which is a sick thing to do. No, it's truly insane. Not even destroyed, unwrapped. I can't leave this alone until y'all recognize how dirty this is. Imagine. Lots of people here celebrate Christmas. Lots of people exchange Christmas gifts. Imagine if you came home and there just wasn't paper. And now everybody in the family either like happy or disappointed, like, oh, you got me the Theragun that All right, we're like a couple months out, so can I have it now, I guess? Truly an evil man. And Trump is floating, pardoning Diddy. Even before, this was odd, even before this Epstein stuff popped up, Trump had floated the idea of pardoning Diddy mid-trial. And I was like, I didn't know they went together like that. That's weird. Imagine being a white man in your 80s and your favorite rapper is Diddy. No Raekwon, no Rakim, no Run DMC, Diddy. Okay. And even then he had floated the idea of pardoning Diddy. And who knows, maybe something happened. Maybe some money exchanged hands. Maybe somebody said something to somebody and started it in motion and everything. But I can tell you this, justice system aside, the only person working hard to make sure that Diddy doesn't get a pardon, it isn't the state. No. It's not like the DA or the lead prosecutor or anything like that. The person working their hardest to make sure that Diddy does not get a pardon, that he doesn't get released back into society is 50 Cent. 50 Cent was so excited when Diddy was arrested. There's a video. You could watch the video. It's about 8 seconds long, but it's very, very funny. And it is 50 Cent laughing in the car when I guess he heard the news that Diddy had been arrested. And this man is chuckling. The joy on this man's face. And then he's chuckling to himself and he goes, he goes, spend Christmas in jail. I've never hated anybody that much. That's so good. Oh, he gonna spend Christmas in jail. He was laughing hard. He was laughing the way that sitcoms used to make people laugh. Like, just, Christmas in jail. And so when 50 Cent heard that Donald Trump was floating pardon for Diddy, he went to work. He did what he does best. He trolled. 50 Cent just started posting everything bad that Diddy ever said about Donald Trump and tagging Donald Trump. This man went, is this your friend? I wouldn't do that if I was you, Mr. President. You won't believe what he said about you. Oh, no. No, Donald Trump, this is not one of your African Americans, okay? It's been tough. I've been trying to find, like, really, whether I'm reading or I'm watching, I've been trying to find pretty much any news story that isn't about Trump and Epstein, you know? And I came across one that genuinely shocked me in Florida. They, yeah. In Florida, the Tallahassee police arrested Chuck E. Cheese at Chuck E. Cheese. apparently Chucky had done some wire fraud. And so the Tallahassee police showed up to the Chuck E. Cheese. And they were ready to take him in, all right? Cuffs already out. And they arrested Chucky mid-birthday party. You couldn't wait an hour and a half? You know where he is. It's not like he's gonna get far in the costume. They arrested Chucky. Those poor kids. Imagine. Picture, if you will, being 6 years old, and you're having a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese because the economy is not doing great. But you're having a good time, you're enjoying it, you're like, cheese pizza, so they say. Delicious yum, right? You're just trying to put on a good face. You jump into the ball pit that is not nearly deep enough. The ball pit that is full of children under the balls because every kid thought it was the funniest thing in the world to pop up out of the balls, but that meant that the ball pit was actually a hard surface because it's made of bodies. You jump into the ball pit doing like a big old face plant thinking you're gonna slide down into the balls, and you just bang heads with another child. You get out of the ball pit concussed. Chucky offers you a flat Diet Coke. Look, there's a hierarchy to costumed mascots. Now, the most athletic are gonna go to teams. You ever been to a sports game and you see their mascot stretches before, they doing wild moves like, You go to Disney, there's a lot of walking, but it's a lot of poise. It's a lot of like the stances, you know. You get somebody that's doing goofy, and they're really doing goofy. They got the, you know what I mean? Chucky. Chucky, as far as like costumed mascots go, Chucky doing a lot of the same. Trying to figure out how to put this. Chucky, the qualifications to be Chucky at Chuck E. Cheese are a lot like the qualifications to work at a Waffle House, okay? You're gonna get in the costume, they're gonna tell you, do your best, all right? Do your absolute best, and if somebody's swinging you, you can swing back after they hit you the first time. You gotta let them get that first hit in. If you hit first, that's assault, all right? And you'll be fired. But look, if they put hands on you first, then hey, you gotta get it how you live and go ahead and swing on them. So imagine you're surprised when at your 6th-year birthday party, you're celebrating 6 years on this planet, and it hasn't been a great 6. You're a little too young to like remember COVID, but you know mom and dad are weird. You clapping with your friends. And Chucky's doing his thing, trying to like find the beat. And you're like, I think he doing something. I can't tell. And then the Tallahassee police walk in. And they cuffed Chucky right there in front of you for wire fraud. Y'all couldn't wait. You know where he works. He wasn't gonna get away. No, we gotta cuff him right now in front of the children. Traumatize them. Nah, forget these kids. We gotta dish out justice real quick. Now the kids distraught. They over here. You know that? Okay, all right. You. I'm sorry. It's funny because it's like I can see the kids being like, "What'd he do?" What'd he do? You know that rumble in the throat when you really cry? There's a certain way you can cry when you're 6 that you never cry again. Like, this is like honestly, a 6-year-old will drop an ice cream and they'll be like, just mixing Disney voices, half Ursula, half Jafar. What'd he do? Let him go, he ain't did nothing. Kids out here vouching for, he was here the whole time. Because you know that. You know, like when a kid cry long enough, they start coughing. When a kid get real upset and they full of mediocre pizza. Yo, free Chucky! Yo, free Chucky! Oh. Now you getting arrested at Chuck E. Cheese, they perp walking you slow just to embarrass you. Y'all really couldn't wait till he got out the costume too, because you know he can't walk fast with those feet. He still got the costume feet on and everything. So now they over here. They get Chucky outside, slam him up against that car. Boom. Patting Chucky down. Why you need to pat Chucky down? That would be wild though if Chucky had like a full-on Glock on him. Like that would be crazy. If Chucky he doesn't care where he is. He could be at Chuck E. Cheese, he could be in the streets, he keep that thing on him. The thing that I think would have been probably the toughest for the police, because I read about this, I didn't see video, so I don't know if this happened or not, but it would be hard. It'd be very difficult to, open up that car door, and when they walked him out, they did it in full costume, like the head was still on, like. That's crazy. This is a personal vendetta now that you have with Charles Entertainment Cheese. That you couldn't at least take the head off in Chuck E. Cheese. Imagine they take the head off. I mean, I'm sure the kids would have been more upset. I could have sworn. Anyway. Look, there's not full video that I saw. This is all what I've read, but it's gonna be hard to put your hand on the back of Chucky's head and get him in the car without it looking like police brutality. Because it's not gonna fit. The head is too big. So now you over here, watch your head. Kids at the glass of the door. You know how Chuck E. Cheese built. They at the glass like, no. They beating up Chucky. Police like, no, I'm not. I'm trying to get the head in. No, he won't fit. He can't even feel it like that. No, don't do that. Everybody start recording. Look what they doing to Chucky, y'all. And they take you down to the police station. Perp walking you. Downtown. Imagine if you got arrested that day. For possession of illicit substances. You know, it could be anything. It could be acid, it could be shrooms, it could be anything. And you got arrested for possession. You're not a dealer. They caught you doing, essentially, a victimless crime, trying to enjoy yourself, enjoy your Saturday. Maybe you don't have your life together. Maybe you're not invited to your kid's birthday party. And you get arrested, you're sitting downtown, waiting to be processed, and then Ayo. I know I got a right to remain silent. I know this may hurt me in court. But did a giant mouse just walk through here fully arrested? Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was still very high from drugs. It's insanity, you know what I mean? Now you gotta do everything. How you gonna take Chucky fingerprints? These aren't even functional. I don't know if they feet or hands, but they're not. Mug shot too. Those mug shots are cold. They're just like, ready, face me. Turn. Turn. No. Now you gotta sit in holding. Imagine all you did was get a little drunk. Maybe you get into a fight at a bar, you sitting in the drunk tank, and the only other is Chucky a person? Nobody else in there but you and Chuck E. Cheese. And whether it's jail or a birthday, they never really gave, at least that I know of, Chucky a voice. Chucky was always silent. At every birthday party I had at Chuck E. Cheese, Chucky was silent. You know, do the... Imagine you sitting there with Chuck E. Cheese in jail. You're wondering how your life took this turn. You look over at Chucky, and Chucky mad. Chucky like, you know, I thought I had that wire fraud on lock. I'm wondering who snitched. I'm wondering what went wrong, yeah? You look over at Chucky, and Chucky's like, what you looking at, dog? You got a problem? But all you see is... Yo, you want step? I'm just saying that in this like kangaroo circus of a court and justice system where we know the government is playing in our face, playing with really dangerous people who have done terrible things. If you're gonna pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, if you're gonna pardon Diddy, then at least yo, free Chucky, all right? Denver, y'all been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
Mira.